We are ready to play match 12. 3, 2, 1, go!
And we're off in match 12 with 3 robots on the move. Both Blue Alliance robots working on scoring. Looks like there's 2 so far in the high basket for Blue, courtesy of Gear Wizards. Looks like on the Red Alliance, 1 specimen was scored, and now the Blue Alliance still moving with a good 10 seconds left here in our autonomous period. Looks like Team 25,100 Mad Engineers have scored a 3rd specimen up onto the high chamber.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
And drivers pick up their controllers. Now Red Alliance comes back to life with Team 23-213 Open Source now reaching into the submersible and bringing back a sample to the observation zone. Meanwhile, Team 28-348 FerdyBot scores a sample up top into the high basket to earn points for the Red Alliance, and now looks to be coming back with a 2nd. They are able to successfully score that one. Now they're going to go for another yellow sample left out on the foam tile. All 3 other robots reaching into the submersible, with Blue Alliance Mad Engineers dropping off a sample into the observation zone. 16-9-17, that's the Gear Wizards. And their robot has these nifty LED indicators on them to communicate information back to the drive team. Looks like they have a high basket score, and they're coming back to the submersible. Red Alliance working on scoring now with Team 28-348 FerdyBot. They put 1 up into the high basket. Now they're looking for another, as Team 25,100 Mad Engineers completes the 4th specimen score. Now the 5th specimen score for the Blue Alliance. As we have about 36 seconds left here in qualification match number 12. The Red Alliance getting a lot more specimen scoring done. Looks like 23-213 Open Source quickly scoring specimens in succession here. They've stored all those samples over in the red observation zone. Now those samples are specimens, and they're being scored very quickly by this Red Alliance. Blue Alliance quickly scoring specimens as well using a similar strategy. 7 seconds left as we have 1 ascent by Team 16-9-17 Gear Wizards for the Blue Alliance. That's going to be 1 level 2 ascent on the Blue Alliance, and
213 Open Source. Match 32 will begin in 3, 2, 1, go!
And match 32, we've got specimens on both sides of the field already. Also some scores in the basket on both sides of the field. Team 21-485 Scrapheads have scored 1 into the low basket, and now 1 into the high basket for red. 2 specimens for the Red Alliance, courtesy of Zip Ties, and 4 specimens for the Blue Alliance make that 5, with help from Team 23-213 Open Source.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
Blue Alliance has the lead coming out of Autonomous, and helping them earn that lead during Autonomous was Team 41-37 Island Bots. They were able to score what looks to be about 2 or 3 samples up top into the high basket, and here they come. They went back for another and are now picking another up off the field to pick up and score into the high basket. Their alliance partner is Team 23-213 Open Source, and they are working on bringing samples out of the submersible and into the observation zone. On the Red Alliance side of the field now, they are trying to catch up to the score of the Blue Alliance. We got Zip Ties, that's Team 16-290, bringing over another sample into the observation zone. And looks like there are about 7, now 8 specimens lined up, ready to go for later in this match for this Red Alliance. Team 21-485 Scrapheads focusing on scoring into the 2 baskets during this match as time ticks down to under 50 seconds. remaining here in qualification match 32. We've got another score and a strategic push of specimens out of the way from open source as they cycle quickly between the observation zone and the submersible. They've got plenty of specimens left to go there. Red Alliance also cycling their specimens as well with zip ties, working on scoring, pushing some out of the way, and now working on scoring onto the chamber. That's one specimen up there. They're coming back for another. 10 seconds remaining in qualification 32. And it looks like we've got a Red Alliance robot in position to ascend. That's going to be a level 2 on our Red Alliance. And looks like possibly 2 level 2s on our Blue Alliance here at the end of
Doors. Let's get ready to play match 48. 3, 2, 1, go!
our last qualification match before lunch here in the Ochoa division. We've got 23-13. That is open source. They've scored a specimen so far for Blue, and now they're securing 4 samples into the observation zone before moving away with another specimen. 3 specimens so far for this Blue Alliance. Meanwhile, on the red side of the field, looks like we did have 2 samples into the high basket.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
Red Alliance looking to bounce back as we come into driver-controlled period. Blue Alliance does have the lead. Team 22043, Unirevsals Vielhalco Technologies now reaching up and scoring into the high basket to put some more points on the board for the Blue Alliance. Their partner also putting plenty of points up. That's Team 23-13 open source. They picked up a yellow sample, so they decide that they're going to go and score this one into the high basket. The next one they pick up is going to be a blue one, so they decide to go and put that one into the observation zone to turn it into a specimen for later scoring. Team 7149 Enforcers coming away from the submersible with a red sample in tow. They're going to leave that in the observation zone for the human player to turn it into a specimen. And they've got what looks to be 6 specimens lined up, one of which is picked up and scored by Enforcers. Their alliance partner, All Systems Go, that's Team 21239, starting to fill up the high basket for this Red Alliance. They are definitely bouncing back and catching up to the score of the Blue Alliance. So the Blue Alliance is going to have to be careful here. Open Source now scoring their specimens onto the chamber. Red Alliance still has a lot of specimens lined up to score as we take down below 30 seconds left in this match. Another score now from Unirevsals Vielhalco Technologies. That's going to go up into the high basket as their partner scores a specimen. Red Alliance Robot Enforcers working on scoring specimens. They've got 9 seconds left to do so. And their partner is looking for an ascension. All Systems Go up with a level 2 so far. And 2 robots on our Blue Alliance both look to be at level 2 as well. Let's get this match underway. Robots are ready to go. We're going to start this one in 3, 2, 1, go.
And the autonomous period for qualification match number 63 is underway. 11444 Garnet Squadron scores an early 2 samples into that high basket for the Blue Alliance. Moving over to the Red Alliance, we have 23213 Open Source placing many specimens onto that Red Alliance high chamber. Currently 3, moving to make it 4, and they make it a 4. 5 seconds left in the autonomous period, with 11444 scoring additional samples.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
moving on to the driver control period, like last match, we have 5 specimens on the high chamber for the Red Alliance, with 4 matching at only 4. And additionally, the Blue Alliance has multiple samples into that high basket. 23213 open source, continuing to pass samples to their human player to make additional specimens for their high chamber. Going over to the Blue Alliance, it seems that Voltaris is doing the same, bringing over specimen samples and getting specimens from that human player. A little under 1 minute 30 left in this match with 11444. Garnet Squadron continuing to place neutral samples into that high basket for the Blue Alliance. (21702). Voltaris continues to place additional specimens up for the Blue Alliance on that high chamber, currently totaling to 8 on the Blue Alliance, with what looks like 5 for the Red Alliance. Meanwhile, over here we have Garnet Squadron continuing to place samples into that high basket. Looking over for the Red Alliance, we have the open source team having additional specimens up to that high bar, now making it a total of 6 for the Red Alliance. Additionally, they have been placing into the net zone and high basket. 30 seconds starts the end game period with a score of 263 to 159 in favor of the Blue Alliance here. Now 20 seconds with Garnet Squadron placing an additional sample into that high basket, nearly full there. Additionally, we have open source filling up that sample rack, specimen rack, up there for the Red Alliance. 10 seconds left in this match. And on that note, we have 3, 2, 1. And the match is over with both Red Alliance robots successfully hanging, one on that top bar and one on that lower bar. (159 to 141).
And next up here in qualification match 73, let's go ahead and meet our teams. Representing the Blue Alliance, let's hear it for Team 18240, Robo Scout Squad. As well as their alliance partner, that's Team 19746, the disruptingly robocephalic brainstem robotics team. Now representing the Red Alliance, we've got Team 25620, Hexadecimal Nibble. As well as their alliance partner, Team 23213, Open Source. Let's get underway with qualification match 73. We'll start in 3, 2, 1, go!
And the robots are off for their autonomous period for match number 73. 18240, the Robo Scout Squad places 1, moving to 2 into that, now it's 2 into that high sample basket for the Blue Alliance. Meanwhile, over here for the Red Alliance, we have Open Source placing additional samples into the observation zone for their human player and collecting those newly made specimens, scoring up to 4 onto that high chamber. Back over to the Blue Alliance, 1978 19746 places 4 specimens onto the Blue Alliance high chamber.
1.
And the 2-minute driver-controlled period begins with all robots off for their driver-controlled time. Open Source continues to place samples into
batteries not included. We've got the thumbs up. Let's begin match 83. 3, 2, 1, go!
All 4 robots on the move so far. Looks like we've got a score in a high basket on both sides. Now going for a second. They scored that second in the high basket. Now going for a third is Open Source. They've scored the third, going for a fourth. Meanwhile, down on the Blue Alliance, looks like Team 7418, batteries not included, is working on scoring their 4th sample up into the high basket for this Blue Alliance. Now looking at specimen scoring, looks like there's 5 on red, 2 on blue.
3, 2, 1.
A 5 specimen autonomous for Team 21689, Team Tesseract over on the Red Alliance. Now it looks like these Alliance's robots are going to swap positions now. We've got Team 23213, Open Source, bringing samples into the observation zone, while Team 21689, Team Tesseract, focuses on the high basket. On the Blue Alliance, Team 22029, that's ASAP, is working on bringing samples into the observation zone, while their partner, Team 7418, batteries not included, also extending their reach into the submersible, looking for and bringing away a sample that they're able to score into the top basket. One minute remaining now in qualification match 83 as we see batteries not included score once again into the high basket. Now Team 21689, Team Tesseract, sees an opportunity to secure some yellow samples into a point scoring area known as the net zone. And now they're going to come over, and we have another switch again. These robots have switched, and Team 21689, Team Tesseract, is focusing on specimens. With less than 30 seconds remaining, batteries not included, working on scoring again into the high basket. There's a score for the Blue Alliance. Their partner, ASAP, looks like they have a blue specimen in tow, and now they just need to line themselves up to score. No, there is no blue specimen. There's nothing in that robot right now, but they are lifting off the ground. That's going to be 2 level 2 ascents for our Blue Alliance. Also looks like the same over on the Red Alliance, 2 level 2.
Match 109 is ready to go. 3, 2, 1, go!
And qualification match 109 looks like we're going to have a 1 versus 2 match. We've got Open Source, Team 23213, playing this one for the Red Alliance. They've scored 1 specimen so far, now bringing all 3 samples back to their observation zone and scoring the 2nd specimen for the Red Alliance. Looks like Hawk, Team 19836, has scored 1 specimen so far. They are looking to make that 2. This is one of the other clip bots we have here in the Ochoa division. And looks like Hawk does get that 2nd score.
3, 2, 1.
And now drivers take control, and we see Team 20092, RTF, Robotic Tech Frox. They're reaching into the submersible, choosing in. They have picked up a yellow sample, being careful not to control any of the 3 samples left on the floor of the field here, but they scored that yellow sample into the high basket, earning points for the Blue Alliance. Hawk now has a 3rd specimen up and looking for a 4th specimen. Looks like they're scoring from a little bit of a different position than we've seen this robot score from before, and that seems to be doing very well for them as they are able to put a 5th specimen up, matching the specimen score of our Red Alliance. bringing back red samples to the observation zone. A lot of specimens available over on the line. 1 minute remaining in qualification match 109, and Team 20,092 Robotic Tech Frox now picking up some of the yellow samples left on the foam tile and scoring that carefully. Oh, that one falls just short, but they're looking to score into the high basket. Open Source now cycling their specimens. They've got plenty of them up there. It looks like about 8 so far. 9 specimens for Open Source as Hawk comes back towards their observation zone. Looks like they've got more clips in their robot ready to use, and they score another blue specimen. RTF working on scoring a yellow sample. That one's gonna fall out of their robot, and they're gonna go for the Ascension here with 10 seconds left in 109. 2 robots lining up to ascend. Open Source scoring some last specimens before lining themselves up to ascend. We've got 1 level 2 Ascension on the Blue Alliance. Also looks like a level 1 as well, complete with a level 2 Ascension on the Red Alliance. An exciting match there. We'll see.
Match 119 is ready in 3, 2, 1, go!
And we've got some scoring going on now in qualification match 119. Looks like there's 3 samples in the high basket so far. Making that 4 is Team 17, 324 Green Machines playing this one for the Blue Alliance. 2 specimens on the Blue Alliance so far. Now a second specimen on the Red Alliance from Team 10,415 Warbots. Sigma Corn's also able to score 1 in the high basket, and Open Source scoring plenty on the Blue Alliance chamber.
3, 2, 1.
6 specimens during that autonomous period for Blue Alliance robot. Team 23-213 Open Source. Now they're reaching back into the submersible and dropping off a sample into the observation zone for their human player to clip and convert into a specimen. Now Team 22-377 Sigma Corns, they're reaching up, and they've scored another yellow sample into the high basket. Looks like there's about 3 samples in that high basket on the Red Alliance side of the field. Many samples in the high basket for the Blue Alliance, with Green Machines working on that and now trying to get back into the submersible to grab and score another. They can get in there as Team 10,415 Warbots moves away, delivers one, and then moves back into the submersible to pick up another sample. Warbots carefully grabs a red sample as we come into 1 minute left here in qualification 119. We've got an unofficial score of 272 to 106, which changes very quickly as these robots, of course, score very quickly. There's Warbots. Within the last 10 seconds or so, they have scored 3 specimens now. Another specimen up onto that red chamber. They've got 2 more specimens left to go. Cycling as well for the Blue Alliance is Open Source. Looks like 2 more specimens. Still 2 more specimens for them as well. 25 seconds remain. And Green Machines fill up their high basket before going to the submersible, looking for another, and they're deciding to get 1 more into that high basket, and 1 more for Open Source. Falls out, but it falls into the low basket, and another one's added by Green Machines. 5 seconds remain, and we've got an ascent on the Blue Alliance, also on the Red Alliance. 2 level 2 ascents on the Red Alliance. Looks like we may have 2 level 2 ascents on the Blue Alliance as well.
We're ready to go. Match 143 in 3, 2, 1, go!
Bringing us into match 143, an interesting match. Team Matrix and Espirity are both 2nd and 3rd place respectively in this event. meaning the victory of one or both of these teams could affect their placement in alliance selection. Looking at some of the scoring going on right now, we have Team Open Source placing 3 specimens onto that high chamber in favor of the Blue Alliance. Make that 4 for the Blue Alliance. Over at the Red Alliance, we can see that 3954, that's going to be Pink to the Future, scoring a sample into that net zone.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
And moving on to our driver control period, all 4 robots are operational and beginning to score. 23213 had scored an additional specimen on that high chamber for the Blue Alliance, while Aspirity moves in and scores multiple samples in that high basket, currently totaling 5 for the Blue Alliance. Looking over at Team Matrix, you can see that they are pushing those samples into the observation zone for their human player to convert them into specimens, which they seem to be saving for later on in the match. Aspirity and Matrix moving into that submersible to grab those samples. Aspirity placing theirs in that high basket. Team Matrix still attempting to acquire what looks like a red sample, being converted into a specimen at this time. Aspirity placing another high sample into that high basket over here, with just over a minute left, score being 238-76 in favor of the Blue Alliance. We have Team Matrix scoring additional specimens onto that high basket, currently totaling 3, now 4 for that Red Alliance. 45 seconds left, Red Alliance catching up and closing that gap just a little bit, 254-104 in favor of that Blue Alliance still. However, we do have just over 35 seconds left in this match. Aspirity moving in and filling up that high basket completely. Let's see what they do now, as we pass that 30-second threshold into the end game period. Unfortunately, Aspirity had placed that yellow pixel into that high bin, but since it is overflowing, it unfortunately does fall out. Meanwhile, at the Red Alliance, they're still catching up, placing those specimens on that high chamber. The Matrix gets ready to hang on the high bar, as does Open Source on the low bar with 5 seconds left. It's a close match. 3, 2, 1. And the match is over, folks.
We're ready to go. Match 152 in 3, 2, 1, go!
And right away, we've got specimens scored on both sides of the field so that these robots can focus on collecting more samples and bringing them back to the observation zone. Silver Wolves has a lot more specimens available to them now. There's a second one scored for the Red Alliance. Meanwhile, on blue, we've got Team 19705WXYZ. Looks like they've put about 3 to 4 samples up in the high basket so far, as their alliance partner, Open Source, completes a 5 specimen autonomous.
3, 2, 1.
We also had a 5 specimen autonomous over on the Red Alliance. A wonderful program there done by Team 20153 Silver Wolves. Now they're reaching in, looking to collect a red specimen and bring it back to a red sample and bring it back to their observation zone, as their alliance partner, Team 24557 Unimate, successfully collects a yellow sample. They're transferring it through their robot now. Unfortunately, it falls out of their grasp, but they're gonna go for it once again, and instead they're gonna choose to score it into the net zone. Blue Alliance does have the lead. Silver Wolves, Team 20153, quickly working to change that. They have a lot of specimens up there so far, and now they're gonna bring back a sample so that their specimen supply never runs out. We've got a score coming in from Open Source. In fact, Open Source is gonna push some of those specimens out of the way. Looks like they prefer to score into the middle and then push that specimen over so that that middle remains open. 50 seconds remaining in qualification at match 152. And we have another score into the high basket from WXYZ, and here they go, lining up another score for the Blue Alliance. Team 24, 557, Unimate adding to the score of the Red Alliance. They're focusing on scoring on the foam tile in the taped off area known as the net zone. 20 seconds remaining in qualification match 152, and we've got another high basket score for Open Source. Looks like Team 19705WXYZ has a successful level 3 ascent on the Blue Alliance. Open Source joining them with a level 2 ascent. 2 seconds left. Silver Wolves are parked in the observation zone, and their alliance partner also looking for level 1 ascent points to close out qualification.